Good day to you, Bashar.
And good day to you.
About 2 years ago, I woke up from a dream where I told a friend that I understood now about the other beings.
All right.
And
was that fun?
Well, the dream was all right. But after the dream, I was lying in bed, and I felt like I was being scanned by energy. And it was ecstatic, orgasmic.
All right. That sounds like fun.
That was a lot of fun. And,
all right.
And part of the fun was wondering, during the time when I felt like I was being scanned,
yes,
aliens had to do with it.
Well, let's just say extraterrestrial consciousness as opposed to aliens.
Okay, well, that was the word I used at the time. But we can PC it up now. Okay,
it's not about PC. It's about accuracy.
Accuracy, okay.
You see, the idea is that a being can be an extraterrestrial just by not being from Earth.
Okay.
But that doesn't mean it's actually alien to your life form. It can be something very similar to you.
Right.
Whereas on Earth, you can interact with aliens, such as dolphins, because they're very unlike you, but they're not extraterrestrial. You understand?
I do understand, yes.
That's the difference.
Yes, okay.
So, you were acting and interacting with extraterrestrial consciousness, but they're not really aliens, not that type.
So
there are aliens out in space in a variety of ways, in a variety of shapes that are nothing like human. But these are connected to the idea of your DNA, our DNA, and a group of beings we would call cousins.
Okay, so you're saying that I was interacting with those beings that are part of the process that created your civilization?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, there were a few others involved as well, but even they are not necessarily as alien as you might think.
Well, but it felt really good, and from what I've understood of those interactions, that people usually describe them as feeling bad, or...
That's usually because the interaction brings them to a vibratory level they are not ready to integrate, and that vibratory level forces their fear reaction to come up within them, and they don't know how to deal with that because they haven't integrated certain fears within themselves yet. It is not in that sense that they are being harmed per se, but the idea is that they're not used to experiencing that level of integration by being, in a sense, brought to that level of reality.
So was the purpose of my interaction to be part of that hybridization process, or was there something else involved?
There are many things involved. It's not only the idea of the hybridization project, as you say, but it is also about your own expansion as a being, as a spirit, as a consciousness, and giving you more opportunity to choose the things that are more representative of what you wish to explore in this life and, in a sense, on other levels as well.
Well, it definitely led me to you.
All right.
And then about 8 months later, I began verbal channeling. Is that connected?
All right. But you see, the reality is that these experiences aren't just leading you to us or other things. They are leading you to you. Mm-hmm. More of you. That's the whole point. How you choose to go about that, what you encounter along the way, is really up to you to find out what attracts you. And we are happy to be a part of that journey with you. But you are really being led to more of you.
Okay, so just keep following my highest excitement?
Is that a question? Would you like to take that curved little question mark and straighten it out into an exclamation point?
I'm going to keep following my highest excitement.
Thank you.
Is there anything you'd like to add? Specifically to me? About this or anything else? Is that a question?
Remember, paradoxically and ironically, we can actually dispense at this day and age more information to you when you make statements instead of asking questions. Because questions close doors, statements open them. And when you open the doors, we can see through them and help guide you to that information. So the more statements you make, the more we actually can give you information than when you ask questions. So, is there anything else? That was a question.
Well, I have the contact crystal on my nightstand.
And how will you play with that idea?
Well, I did the meditation that comes with the DVD with it. And
yes. And?
I felt a lot.
Of what?
Energy.
In what way?
Well, my arms moved around involuntarily.
Oh, all right. And
like
so
that.
you say then you will apply this in your life. How? How will you apply the energy you have received from that experience in your life? In what way, in other words, are you inspired to do things in your life with that energy?
Well, I like feeling the energy. I do that often.
Well, feeling it is all well and good. How will you apply it in physical reality? If you just sit around feeling it, it's not, in a sense, going to be grounded in your world.
Well, I visualize when I feel that.
Visualizing is not action. How will you act this energy out in your physical reality, thus grounding the vibration in your physical experience? It isn't sufficient in that sense to simply feel or visualize things.
Yeah.
You must complete the circuit by actually behaving the energy out. So what actions does it inspire you to actually physically take?
I do workshops. I verbally channel at workshops. And
All right.
I walk in nature. And
All right. Anything else?
receive a lot of massages.
All right. Whatever thus else you find this energy inspires you to do as a behavior, allow yourself to do it and don't hesitate. All right?
Okay, thank you.
That's what we have to say.
Ha'atu.
Ha'atu.
Hello, Bashar.
I knew you. Good day.
So, as I understand it, we're basically pieces of source energy shot into darkness to experience progression.
Well, that's one way to express it, yes.
Okay, well, after you hit the fifth density, time sort of melts away.
Well, yes.
So how do you experience progression without time?
You don't. That's the point of experiencing space-time, so that you can experience progression, so that you can experience change, so that you can experience creation and transformation. On those higher levels, things just simply are, instantaneously just are. And there is no real progression in that sense.
I see. So it feels the same to be in the fifth density as it is to be in the seventh density?
No, it doesn't feel the same. It isn't the same experience. Nevertheless, the idea is that the similarness is that there is a timelessness to what is experienced. It is not experienced as a progression. It is just experienced as what is from a different point of view.
Cool. Thank you.
It is many different temperatures in a sense. But the idea from that perspective is that to experience space-time and to experience progression is also, as you say, cool.
Yes, very cool. Star Trek cool. Okay.
All right, we understand.
Yeah. Okay. Also, I'm an audio engineer, and I love music, and I'm just have a little bit of question about your ears. Can you hear past 20,000 kilohertz?
Yes.
Yes. How far can you hear?
444.
Whoa.
We heard that.
That's cool. So I'm guessing your music would be just super complex, I guess, in the sense.
In actual fact, it is not. It is actually quite simplistic, because we revel in what you might call the complex richness that we can hear in things you would only hear as simple tones.
I see. Okay, cool.
I hear.
Okay, well then, are there planets that war on other planets out there?
There are other civilizations that do have forms of warfare, but we have not really encountered too many.
Okay. I was kind of thinking that if they're advanced enough, they'd probably be kind of more peaceful, right?
In general, yes. The idea is that some of the limitations that exist in your world and those other few worlds are not that common.
Cool. All right. Also, can I experience ascension if I'm drunk? Can I ascend if I'm drinking?
If you are actually intoxicated, no.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, one more. I experienced the idea of being ADD. I'm very ADD. I have a very lazy mind, and I take.
Are you sure?
I don't know. I think I am. I'm not
You
really,
think you are.
My degree of knowingness hasn't been.
You mean your
honest.
mind is sharp enough to actually create the illusion that it's not sharp?
Could be. I don't know, but I rely on this drug called Adderall to make me sharp, and it makes me focused. It allows me to accomplish tasks very quickly, as opposed to...
And do you find that this works for you?
I do.
All right, then that's your permission slip for now. You might eventually allow yourself to change to another permission slip, but you have to absolutely and utterly believe that the other permission slip will work for you in the same way or better. But you can do that, but it's up to you to decide that that's possible for you.
Very cool. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. And I would, in that sense, define ADD as added dimensional depth.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
And happy birthday.
Why, thank you.
Things are going well for me, right?
Oh, all right.
My son has been balanced since the last time that we talked.
All right.
And I'm doing lots of fun and exciting things.
Thank you.
And then I had this thought that I was having too much fun.
Too much fun? So, did you put the brakes on your fun?
No.
Well, then I guess you were not having too much.
Well, because I told myself that's not a very good thought, so I just...
Well, it's not that it's not a good thought, it's simply not appropriate for the vibration you prefer. You don't have to invalidate it as a thought. So the thought came to give you a chance to simply recognize it as an equal choice you could make, and at the same time you decided that that would not be a choice you would make. Simple as that.
Okay, sounds simple.
Well, it is.
I had a friend recently tell me that they thought I was getting very comfortable with my voice.
Oh,
like
all right.
this.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you attempting to be convincing?
Yeah.
All right. So you are not comfortable.
Well, I would like to speak more.
Are you sure it's necessary?
No.
All right. Then why not allow yourself to simply allow the times that it is necessary to be the times that you speak, and find out that there may not necessarily be as many times that it is necessary, and learn other forms of communication? Yes?
Okay, and be excited about that.
Why not? Why not?
That's true.
Why not?
That's true.
There are many, many, many forms of communication that are exciting other than the idea you call speech.
Okay.
Do you not on your own planet say that actions speak louder than words?
Okay, so I think I'll just go dancing.
All right. Now you're talking. Now you're talking.
Okay, thank you. I would like to ask you a question about something that happened to me about 10 years ago.
Yes.
I had some body work massage done.
Yes.
And afterwards, I physically felt like the tides were moving within my body.
Yes.
Rising and falling. I had never felt it before, and I've never felt it again.
That's
So I was
all right.
wondering,
You simply
I'd
hit
like
a
to-
particular resonance pitch that allowed you to feel the motion of energy waves. There are energy waves all around you, going through you all the time. It is possible to hit certain resonant pitches that actually allow you to sensitively feel, to viscerally feel energy waves going through you. It doesn't matter that it hasn't happened that way since. The point is that in feeling it then, you took yourself to another level. That was the way you did it then. You'll do it differently now.
Okay.
All right?
I'm excited about that, too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.
Good evening, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
Yes, so I've been listening to you on your YouTube videos and books for the last year. And I want to thank you very much for the expansion that you have done for my life and everybody that I've come into contact with and spread your beautiful message.
All right, we thank you for being willing to expand yourself, and we are happy to be a reflection of your willingness to do so.
All right, thank you. So my question is a matter of our dimensional shift that we're going through.
Yes.
And so I've got these ideas that are running through my head on the matter of, is this shift that we're going through a matter of this lifetime, we're using it as an opportunity to raise our vibration for us to be a resonant match for when we reincarnate into being fully in the next dimension?
Well, in a sense, you are setting it up in that way. But again, remember, all lives exist now. So from the linear perspective, you can create that experience, you can create that effect. But when you do, in a sense, pass into spirit, you will realize that those different realities with those different frequencies all already exist simultaneously, side by side, in a sense, or overlapping, in a sense.
Right.
Remember that you're shifting billions of times per second already. And that shift is representative of shifting through various parallel Earth realities of different types. As you change your frequency in any given moment, that determines the next parallel Earth reality you will experience in the next billionth of a second, and the next billionth after that, and the next billionth after that, and the next billionth after that. No one parallel reality has any movement in it at all. They're like static frames of film. Motion and change is the effect that you create by actually shifting your consciousness from parallel reality perspective to parallel reality perspective billions of times a second, creating this smooth illusion of continuous change. So whatever vibration you are determines the reality you experience. So it's all about the idea of creating the vibration that is commensurate with the type of reality you prefer, and creating a greater degree of difference in your definition of reality from one to the other, so that you can actually thus then experience the shift more consciously, more readily, so you can recognize that you've been shifting all the time. Because every shift is an immediate shift and a total change. But you don't recognize it as such because every reality you're shifting to is so similar to the last one, you hardly notice any difference. But when you start creating a shift in your design to a reality that is much different, then you start to notice that you're shifting, and it becomes more conscious. Does that make sense?
Oh, sure, yeah.
Does that address the question you asked?
Yes, it does.
Is there anything else?
No, that's all. Thank you very
all right,
much.
thank you.
Yes.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm having a great time in this lifetime.
Oh, thank you.
It is really beautiful.
Yes.
I hope you enjoy as well the beautiful life that I have.
You do not have to hope. We do nothing that does not reflect our ecstasy.
Great. Well, this lifetime, it's beautiful. The physical experience of having been loved and giving love is amazing.
Yes.
And I enjoy and I milk it.
Thank you.
The physical experience of traveling around the world, from the rainforest to the volcanoes and all those beautiful places, is amazing.
Yes.
The swimming into the Caribbean and all those nice places is amazing.
Yes.
Visiting the North Pole and playing with all those beautiful islands and see the beautiful sky up there, it was amazing.
Yes.
Making love is beautiful. I came as a man this lifetime.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
Yes.
So it's really fun.
Yes.
I enjoy it.
That's what we've been saying.
Food is good.
Yes.
I enjoy very much.
Thank you. Now, we no longer eat or drink or sleep, but we did enjoy them when we did.
I do it for you.
That's all right. Thank you. We do enjoy what we have now.
I enjoy that very much too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
So excited to be here tonight.
Thank you. So are we.
I'm curious, during the ascension process, I've been hearing a lot that not everyone is going to make that shift, and I'm just wondering...
Everyone makes shifts. They don't always necessarily choose the same place to shift to.
Okay.
So, you're all shifting, but in different ways, to different places.
Okay.
Some of you will agree to share similar experiences. Some of you will not. Simple as that.
Okay, thank you.
Does that answer the issue?
It does, yes.
All right.
How can I help people love themselves more?
You can share with them the idea that goes hand in hand with doing so, the self-empowerment that results from this, the sense of creativity and connection to source that results from loving yourself unconditionally. You can share those ideas. You can even demonstrate them even better in how you live your life, being a living example of loving yourself, so they can see in you an opportunity to choose the same thing. At the same time, you must love them unconditionally enough to allow them to choose whatever they choose, even if it isn't what you would wish for them.
Okay, thank you.
Does that help you?
It does.
Thank you.
Good evening.
And to you, good day.
Thank you so much. I love you.
You are welcome so much. I love you too.
And I don't really know what question I was going to ask.
Can you make a statement then?
I love you.
Is there an echo in here?
Okay, I have a question actually.
Thank you.
Is it possible...
Anything is possible. What you're asking is it probable?
Okay, thank you. Is it probable to fly in this life with your physical body like Superman or Peter Pan?
Yes, it is probable. But what degree of probability depends upon the person's belief systems and the reason why they might choose such a thing and the need for it to happen in their reality.
Say you just wanted to fly just
idle
for the fun of it.
curiosity doesn't usually do it.
Would your belief system have to be powerful enough to overcome gravity?
It's not about power, it's about clarity. There has to be a clear reason in how it serves you to do so, and how it may serve others for you to do so as well. There has to be a choice made within the idea of the exploration of a theme that is to the benefit of you and all concerned as to that happening. Now, that's becoming more and more probable in your reality as you get a better handle on the idea of what consciousness is and what beliefs are all about and how they manifest your physical reality experience, and the fact that it takes place within your consciousness and not really outside. So the idea really is a vibratory one, a resonance one, a frequency one. In the sense of how it happens in our reality, one of the ways we began to realize that such a thing was highly probable was when we first recognized that what you call location is actually a property of the object itself, not a place in which an object resides. So when you know that location is a property of the object and you learn to redefine the vibrational variable in the equation, the energy equation of the object, then if the location happens to be 50 feet off the ground and you impose that vibratory resonance or change that vibratory resonance within the location variable in the equation of the object, then the object must by definition start to exist 50 feet off the ground because that's its new locational variable. So it's all about frequency, it's all about resonance, it's all about knowing what your energy signature is and how your beliefs can align themselves to generate the appropriate energy signature to manifest that particular kind of an experience.
Thank you.
Did that clarify it or muddy it up for you?
Muddy.
All right. Let's simplify this idea. If there is a true, strong, I'll put it this way, reason or need for this to happen, the probability becomes much, much greater that it will. But you will find that many people wish for these things, in a sense, out of fascination or idle curiosity, but they really, 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 really don't need them to happen. And so they don't.
That's kind of what I thought you would say.
Well, there you go. You see how smart you are?
Yes. Thank you.
Now, does that help you?
Yes.
All right.
Pleasant dreams.
And to you as well.
Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I'm very, very excited to be here with you.
All right, thank you, as are we.
Last night I had a dream, and you were in my dream, and several things happened. But one thing that you said, I was looking forward to hearing if you can help me to understand. You said to me, and actually, there's Kirby was in the dream as well.
All right.
And we were standing next to each other, and you put your hand over our hearts and said something to the effect that we're about to ride a horse, or a horse with you, or like you, or something like that.
Yes.
And is there anything?
That's not clear.
Well,
You can say no.
No.
No, thank you. You want, in a sense, an interpretation of that.
Yes.
All right. You are about to take a galloping ride into a new reality. Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
Was that so difficult?
No.
The horse symbolizes in many cultures the new way, the new direction, and travels at a higher rate of speed than you do. So riding that horse is riding the new wave, the new direction, the new energy. And if you are ready to do so, it will take you very far, very fast, if your hearts are in it. You understand?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes, it does.
All right. Anything else?
Yes, I'm wondering if I have a connection to the hybrid children. I have lots and lots of dreams.
Why do you wonder that you have such a connection? Does not the wonderment itself in some ways tell you that in some way you do?
Yes.
Because it doesn't feel like an idle curiosity, does it? It feels like a heartfelt connection, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Then that should tell you something. Yes?
I'm also wondering, I have...
You do a lot of wondering.
Oh. Yes, I do. I have nephews that are triplets.
Yes.
And
There's that number 3 again.
yes, I have a lot of threes, lots of threes in my life. And
That should tell you something too.
can you tell me?
Did I not already say we resonate to 3s?
Yes. Well, in the dream last night that I had, there was several other people there at one point, and they were all saying we were family.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah. Okay. In the hybrid, with the hybridization
Yes.
program in the children, I'm curious about. I know they're being prepared for a future time to integrate here and to come here, but are any here now and maybe not? I don't know how to.
Not those hybrids, no.
So that's. I was wondering.
There are children being born on your planet that have hybridized DNA, but they are not the hybrids we're referring to that are right now on the ships.
Okay. The triplets that I was just talking about, are any of them?
All of them. You must understand that basically, with few exceptions for certain reasons we will not go into right now, almost any child being born within the last 10 to 20 of your years has hybridized DNA that allows them not to forget as much of who they are. And in that context, that generation is not just a different generation. In some senses, because of the alteration of their DNA, they are a different species. Do you understand?
Yes, yes.
And they are, in that sense, capable of teaching a lot of you a lot of things about what's to come. Does that help you?
It does. Thank you.
Anything else?
Is there anything that you can reflect from my higher self to me?
Where's your imagination conduit? That was from your higher self.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Bashar.
Thank you. Now, one moment. Are you aware and were you present in the transmission last night of your time?
No.
We gave and shared an idea of a certain permission slip exercise that involved a mirror. You will find great advantage specifically in utilizing these exercises. All right?
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
I also have a dream experience.
Oh, all right. Everyone here is dreaming.
Yes. After the transmission last night, I had a situation where someone came to me in the dream and said, "Do you have any more questions?" And my question spontaneously, without thinking, was, why do we sleep so much? Is it biologically necessary? And the answer was, no, it's not fully biologically necessary. It's actually a safety valve, because if you've come here with the agreement that you're going to be masters of limitation when you're in your waking state, you need some time to connect to your higher self and to all that is. And that's why you sleep so long, is to create a balance. And that's why you also transform through that way first.
Yes, generally so. But more important than the idea of the sleep, even though that is to some degree still necessary for your species, it is the idea that you need to dream. Many people can find they can go a long time without sleep so much, but if they are prevented from dreaming, they will go stark raving mad. Because the only thing then in control totally is the physical mind. And without that reconnection to the higher mind in dreaming and many of the other spirit levels, you will find that the physical mind simply does not have what it takes to maintain your focus in physical reality. So while dreaming many times goes hand in hand with sleep as a natural cycle in that sense, and yes, it is true, most of you don't necessarily need as much as you think of sleep, the real idea is that what you need to do from time to time is dream. You follow?
Yes, I do.
So you really need just enough sleep to allow you the idea of a full dream cycle for recharging and reconnection.
Great. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
G'day.
And you good day.
You explained the significance of...
Speak up, speak up.
Hello. Better?
Proceed.
Thank you. You explained the significance of 1-1 and 11 with reflection.
Yes.
What are the significant dates in 2012 and what's the meaning behind them?
There are many significant dates for a variety of reasons, each of which represent certain kinds of miniature threshold crossings that help amplify and build up the consciousness and allow the collective consciousness to meet the leading edge of its wave for the major threshold crossing, as you say, on December 21st. So many of them are like amplifying points, in a sense like step-up transformer points, each of which is its own gateway, representative of a certain vibrational energy of creativity and action and alignment and so on and so forth. You will find that many of them express themselves in similar numbers, as has already been experienced on your planet, such as 311 and 911 and so on and so forth. These ideas can be turned around to have much more positive vibratory meanings. And by being utilized in that way will help amplify your collective consciousness toward the crossing of the threshold to allow the transition to be smooth instead of catastrophic. Make sense?
Marginally.
Marginally, all right.
More specifically, say, for example, what was that date in December? In 2012, what was it? The
21st.
21st.
What you call the winter solstice.
More specifically, could you just explain the meaning behind 2-1, 12, and 12 again? Just that specific date.
Again, the idea is that it represents the crossing of a threshold of the collective consciousness, the leading edge of the buildup of the wave of your awakening and recognition. In crossing that threshold, you will actually use these resonant numbers to tip the scales, in a sense. Going from the idea of 1-2 to 2-1, still both being 3, you have a 3-3 on either side. But it will go from the idea of being slightly negative to being slightly more positive for the first time in thousands of years on your planet in terms of the overall energy. So you're using that resonance and the reversal of the numbers as the crossing of the gateway to go from one side to another. It's similar to what we did in the mirror experiments where the energy crossed itself from one reality, one parallel reality to another. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's better. Thank you.
All right.
That's it.
Thank you.
Good evening.
And to you, good day.
Are we going to reach a point on our planet where we won't have perpetual war at some point?
Yes, but that Earth already exists. Again, remember what we are saying. The planet you are on right now will never change. You will change. And you will shift yourself more and more to an Earth that already exists on the vibratory level you have just described. And thus then you will experience that reality on that Earth. But this Earth and all the other Earths never change. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. So it's possible to get marooned here then, isn't it?
No. Unless you choose to be marooned.
To be here.
But do you prefer that?
No.
Then why would you choose that?
Because it seems like a lot of people choose that. We're constantly fighting with each other.
That's because they don't know they have a choice. So the more you can share with them that there is a choice, not that they necessarily will have to listen, but the more you can share and by example show them that there's a choice, then at least you give them more of an opportunity to choose something else.
So that all pain and suffering is a choice?
Pain and suffering is resistance to the natural self. You know when you have what you call in your technology resistance in a wire?
Yes.
What happens?
Nothing gets through.
And it builds up heat?
And then it melts?
Thank you. Why do you think you're any different? Resistance to the natural flow of your true vibration will create blockages. Things will start to snap apart. Heat will build up. Things will melt down. Nothing gets through. It's the same idea. Become superconductive. Thus, then energy will flow. And again, remember, your outer technology is a reflection of what's going on in your inner consciousness. You have the idea of exploring superconductivity now in your technology because that's what your consciousness needs to do. It needs to become superconductive. So energy will flow freely, unimpeded, smoothly, and you can transition smoothly and experience the transitions in a smooth way. Without resistance, without pain, without suffering. You will always have challenge, but challenge never needs to be experienced with suffering and pain, at least not anymore. That's again the whole idea of waking up to the fact that you're creating your reality. If you know that that's the case, then choose what you prefer. Remember, karma, as you call it, is completely self-imposed. And the easiest way to dissolve the concept of karma is to understand that it's completely self-imposed. Because it's just all about the idea of balancing the consequences of your choices. That's all karma is, balancing the consequence of your choices. So if you know what choices you prefer, Let the other choices you don't prefer be equally valid. Keep them balanced. Don't devalue them. Otherwise, you actually give them more energy. They tip the scales in that sense and have more power because you give them more power by devaluing them because you're focusing on them in that way, adding more negative energy to them. But if you leave them as all things being equal, all choices being equally valid, then you can easily choose which one you prefer and tip the scale in that direction. Make sense?
Yes.
Does that help?
Yes.
Anything else?
Yes, one more thing.
Yes.
I have a question because everybody was talking about dreaming. When you go into a really deep sleep, and you feel like you're in another world, and you wake up, and then you wonder, well, what am I doing back here?
Yes.
It's
What about it?
It's just a weird feeling. How do you know?
All right,
you
it's
feel
a
like you're
weird
in
feeling.
Several different places at one time.
Yes.
So I'm just feeling. Am I connecting up with my higher consciousness?
You
with that?
could be. Dreams are many things. Anything from simply a true recapitulation of the day's events to actual visitations to other dimensions of reality, and your physical mind is making whatever sense it can out of that trip that it has no ability to relate to, and creating a dream out of whatever symbolic ideas it can make sense out of. And that may be part of the weird feeling, is that it's a little bit disorienting because your physical mind doesn't always know exactly what to make of where you've actually been. Because sometimes you go from the physical mind's point of view to some really weird places.
That's for sure.
And then from that perspective, coming back to physical reality will seem, as you say, weird by comparison once you got used to the other reality. So it's just a matter of perspective. Make sense?
It does.
Thank you. Pleasant dreams to you.
Hi, how are you going?
Perfect, and you?
I'm good. I'm very good. I recently had an experience where I smoked DMT.
All right.
And it was 6 months ago, and I had no idea what I was actually doing. A friend of mine said, just trust me, you'll have the best experience of your life.
And was your friend correct?
No.
Oh, all right.
It was, for the first part of it, had the worst experience of my life. Terror.
Terror.
Absolute.
That sounds exciting.
It was, I guess, a version of that.
All right. What was terrifying? What specifically frightened you?
I experienced my own death a number of times.
Isn't that exciting?
I don't know.
Do you fear death now, that you now have died and are still alive? Did you lose your fear of death by going through that death so many times?
When I first came out of the DMT, no.
But
I couldn't make sense of anything.
But now?
No.
You have not lost your fear of death. Do you fear to die?
I don't think I do anymore, no.
Well, that's what I said.
Mm.
And you said no.
But when I've come back here, I've experienced my mind is foggy. I have lost direction.
That is not because of the DMT.
What is that from?
It is from what you were afraid to face about yourself during the experience. And still, to some degree, hesitate to incorporate and integrate within your understanding of your total being. Because you see, the DMT does not last in your body. It is automatically and immediately absorbed because it is a natural element produced by your pineal gland all the time. In fact, it's the reason why you dream and go to other dimensions of reality. But being given that same experience to such a strong degree before you were really ready to understand what was happening didn't allow you to integrate the experience in an appropriate way. But the DMT itself, in that sense, didn't cause it. It simply opened up a doorway that was in some ways more than you believed you were capable of handling about the recognitions that were coming to you during that experience. But you are all right.
So there's no permanent damage, nothing?
No.
Like
it's all about the resonances, like the ringing and the echo of a bell once rung that you are simply experiencing now because that bell was very loud and you're still experiencing some of the echoes of what that bell put you in touch with. And you need to face those aspects of your consciousness and integrate those beliefs within yourself about your relationship to life, to death, and to yourself, and to your creative powers. Are you acting on your highest excitement in life? Hesitation usually means no.
Yes.
Are you just agreeing with me, or are you answering yes?
No, I had a business that I was wanting to be my higher excitement, but a partnership didn't work out.
All right, and now what are you doing?
Well, I'm in confusion, period.
And again, very exciting. But again, remember, when we talk about the idea of following your excitement, we don't necessarily mean it has to come immediately in the form of a lifelong project, a job, or a career. We simply mean at any given moment you have things that make themselves available to you that contain more excitement than something else and the ability to act upon them. That's all you need to do, is continue to do that. If you cannot see something that spans many years, at least act on what excites you the most in the next moment. And the next moment after that, and the next moment after that, and the next moment after that. And that's all you have to do to get back on track. And that excitement, like a thread, will lead you to more and more excitement that can eventually expand into something that can fill more time in your life. But you have to take some action. You have to take some steps. What is your trepidation?
Well, I guess it's some of my internal belief systems.
About what?
Well, I first of all realized I was hanging on to stories instead of facing a fear that I'm scared to do what I really wanted to do.
All right. Well, thank you for that realization. And now that you've had that realization, are you still scared to be your true self and take action on your highest excitement? It's all right to say yes if you are.
Well, the thing is, I get confused over whether that is my highest excitement.
But you see, all you have to do is take some action on that direction. And if it really isn't representative of your highest excitement, it will show you very clearly that it is not. Remember that sometimes on your planet, people gain great clarity about who they are by actually taking a step in the direction of who they are not. So they can make the comparison and know for certain that that's who they are not, and thus then paint a clearer picture of who they are. So it all works out in the end anyway. If you treat it that way, if you approach it that way, it will all serve you. Because remember, excitement is the organizing principle in your life as well as the driving engine of your life. So even if there are things that seem exciting and they turn out not to be, or they could be exciting, but it's not the one you need to act on at this particular moment, the circumstances of taking that action will turn around in such a way as to show you what direction to move in if you're willing and open to use that experience in that way and define it as part of your path instead of an interruption in it or somehow a dead end. Make sense?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Are you willing to use it that way?
Yes, I am.
Then we thank you.
And
you will apply your experience in that sense in a more positive way.
Yeah. Thank you. I have my girlfriend is here also, and she's having a lot of trouble sleeping.
Oh, all right.
And I'd like
Maybe she is sleeping at an incorrect and inappropriate time for her biocycle. Many people on your planet do force themselves to be awake when they ought to be asleep and be asleep when they ought to be awake. Sometimes there is a more natural cycle than the one that society has imposed upon you. And if you are following your highest excitement and doing the things that are truly representative of your creativity, your natural cycle can reveal itself to you. And then you can find out when exactly it is that you require sleep and when exactly it is that you are required to be awake.
Is there anything else? She's in this room.
Yes.
Do you feel there's anything else that she, besides finding that rhythm?
Is there anything else? We are asking her.
What if I have bad dreams? Like, I deal with bad dreams.
Define bad dreams.
I just wake up with a lot of fear.
So you are afraid to sleep?
I guess on some level I am.
All right. I can guarantee you this. Nothing in that will harm you. All you need to do is ask for assistance with this, but you must also be willing to face what it is the dream is attempting to tell you about the fears you're holding on to that don't serve you. You understand? Are you willing to do that?
Yeah.
Are you willing to act on your highest joy in life without fear? Or are you afraid that if you actually allow yourself to be who you wish to be, that something dreadful will happen to you? Oh, that was a heavy question.
I want to be my highest self.
Will you like to come up and talk about this? And so, what do you fear about being yourself? What do you fear? What is the worst thing you fear will happen? You see, this is one way to get a handle on your fear, is not keep it down, not suppress it, but actually give it full rein. Use your imagination. Let it go all the way. What is the worst possible thing, the most fearful thing you imagine might happen if you truly allowed yourself to be who you wish to be? Go ahead. What's the worst thing that might happen? Come on, use your imagination.
Rejection.
Rejection by whom?
I don't even know.
If you don't even know, then why do you care?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you don't even know, why do you care? But perhaps you do know. Are you fibbing?
No.
Oh, all right.
I just...
Then rejection by whom?
Maybe the people I love most.
Maybe the people you love most. If you love these people the most, and they choose to behave in a manner that expresses the idea of rejection, do you not understand that that rejection is just a projection on their part of the parts of themselves they do not love? That they see reflected in you.
Yeah.
You see, when individuals truly be themselves, sometimes when they reflect that true self to individuals who are afraid to be them true selves, those individuals will resent it. They'll resent having their face put in that idea. And thus then they will reject you to keep themselves safe. So you can have compassion for them if they reject you, because you can understand the rejection is a projection to keep you away so that they are not forced to face their own fears. But if you know that, then you can simply have compassion for them.
Right.
Do you understand the difference?
Yeah.
This is how to label these things in such a manner that works for you.
Okay.
Does this help?
Yes, it does.
In understanding this, do you feel a little bit more inclined to be your true self?
Yes. What are some ways I can really get there quicker and faster and tap into
By
that?
being your true self every moment that you can. By acting on your highest excitement every moment that you can. By acting on it to the best of your ability and taking it as far as you can with absolutely no expectation of how it should result.
Right. No.
Just because that's the vibration you prefer is the only reason to act on your highest joy. Not because of what you think it will get you.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
So if you just do that every day, every moment of every day, you'll be doing exactly what you need to do, and there's nothing else you need to do. That's it. It's that simple. To be your true self, all you have to do is take the action on the things that contain the vibration of your true self. That's called excitement, passion, joy, love, creativity.
And what if at the moment you're confused?
Then you're confused. Enjoy your confusion.
Right.
Label it as something positive. Remember, co-fusion. You're connecting, you're exploring, you're examining different, apparently opposite or incompatible ideas, but that's all right. That's an exploration unto itself. You're defining yourself. You're guiding yourself. It's an opportunity to redefine yourself. And isn't that a positive thing?
Yes.
Then the sooner you define that confusion in a positive way, you won't experience it as confusion. You'll experience it as co-fusion. In the same way we said, the sooner you define the idea of going inside in a positive way, you won't experience it as depression. You'll experience it as compression, a very natural creative state. You just have to start using your imagination to define these things in a way that works for you instead of continuing to accept other people's definitions for things that don't work for you. You understand?
Yeah.
Does this help you?
Yes.
Do you feel freer in this conversation?
Yeah.
Well, the only thing that's changed is the definitions.
Right.
So when you change your definitions to ones that are more aligned with your true self, you will feel freer and you'll know how to behave and you'll know how to act and you will take action on those things that allow you to feel more free, that are expressions of your freedom. And it won't matter what anyone else thinks, because you will understand that if you are really doing the best you can, and if you're really staying aligned with your highest vibration out of unconditional love for yourself, then you will be acting as an example for others. And if they reject you, it's just an opportunity for them to Be as strong, be as brave, be as courageous, and see in you an example to get in touch with those things within themselves that could also allow them to experience a life of joy as you also have chosen. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And that's the most loving thing you can do for them.
Got it.
Does that help you?
Yes, thank you.
Then sweet dreams to you.
Thank you.
Hello, Tadeo.
Nania.
So we have lots of great questions from our viewers.
All right.
So the first one is, this person is asking, I believe you've mentioned that we will not be able to see the other train tracks somewhere around the year 2050. As there is a high probability of having a mass contact event between 2026 and 2027, how will the realities who do not experience contact perceive this event? Will they look back on this instance in a similar way we look back on the Roswell event, very much in denial?
It depends on the person. There is still an opportunity in the upcoming events to have a particular perspective of it, or no perspective at all, not even knowing that it's happening. There is still the possibility of a range of reactions to it because you are still seeing other people's choices. So for a while, different people will respond or react in different ways or not even be aware that it's happening. These things will start slowly, in phases, subtly, and not everyone on your planet may even be aware that it's occurring. But the different reactions from those that become aware of it may also exhibit a wide range from acceptance to disbelief to total non-acceptance. So again, there is still time for people to make choices about how they relate to the idea of open contact, and you will see a number of different reactions and responses to any particular UFO events or contact events for a few years to come.
Okay. This person says, I was wondering if the first major contact event will happen in dream form. I feel like more people would be open to the idea of it since they are in a dream state. I'm aware that a lot of people are already making contact while dreaming and just don't remember it. But will we have a dream we remember which will unlock the door to making physical contact?
That is a high probability. It is common in first contact scenarios in many civilizations, including a high probability in yours, that the idea of widespread open contact will be experienced en masse in dreams before it occurs in physical reality.
Very interesting. Will open contact happen on a large scale, visible to everyone, ensuring that no one is left out?
No, because again, there are those who may choose not to experience it. It will happen for those who are willing and open to experience such a thing. So again, the scale of it will happen in phases, will unfold in phases, and those who are open to the vibration will experience certain aspects of it, and this will change over time and broaden over time. But there will be those who are simply unwilling to experience such things, and we have to respect that. Therefore, vibrationally, they will simply not be capable of participating in the experiences that others may be open to experiencing.
And what will be the impact on those with religious beliefs when we establish open contact? Will they resist, or will you assist them in gaining a deeper understanding of Jesus and God?
We will assist where we can, where people are willing and open to receive assistance. Again, there will be a range of responses and reactions based on people's beliefs, be they positive and or negative. And again, This range of responses and reactions will still exist for quite some time as you process what is going on, as you work through things and determine for yourselves which track you ultimately prefer to be on.
And how are you feeling regarding the current UAP issues with the US government? Will we make progress soon for disclosure and contact?
You are making progress. The term soon is relative. But again, progress will be made in a number of different ways, not even necessarily so much by your government, although there will come a time when they understand that there really is no other choice but to reveal what they know, at least to a large degree, because the movements that exist in the public domain will have advanced farther at a certain point than the government's abilities to interact and expose the information that they are aware of. So it will happen as a multifaceted approach from different corners of different public interests and different public activities, and come together at a certain timing, again, through the window over the next decade or so.
And since it's the year one of Countdown to Contact, can you tell us more about the ET races that we could encounter, like Sasani, Pleiadian, Yael?
Again, it is most likely that those most similar to you, such as the Pleiadian civilizations, will be among the first that you will experience when open contact begins in earnest. Hybrid civilizations you will experience. Yael will likely be first because they will be the ones bringing the hybrid children to Earth eventually. My civilization, the Sasani, will not necessarily be first, but we will be in the mix further down the line, as well as other civilizations.
You've mentioned that a lot of ET races use similar ship types. We could, of course, reach out telepathically, but are there also physical differences in the ships we would notice, for example, between the triangular ships Pleiadian, Yael, Sasani use?
Well, again, yes, of course. You have witnessed many different types of ships that have many different kinds of functions, and different civilizations usually have types of ships that are relevant for them. A lot of civilizations will use the saucer-shaped ships. Many will use triangular-shaped ships. There is a kind of exchange that does exist between civilizations of some of the technologies, and so the use of different kinds of ships has become more mixed over time, with different civilizations acquiring the technologies of other civilizations. Many will use the cylindrical mothercraft or city ships because that is a convenient form, although some will also be spherical. But again, you can't always necessarily tell what civilization now because of the mixing of technologies. Though for the most part, Pleiadians will retain the idea of the classic saucer shape as you understand it, and our civilization and many hybrids will retain the general use of triangular ships because that is what is representative of our general technology.
And regarding extraterrestrial writing that some people see on the ship's exterior, when seeing the ships up close, what is that writing for?
The writing exists as a mark for the identification of ships in terms of their function. And it is, in a sense, read as a code vibrationally that is telepathically received by those who are sensitive to it to understand the function of the ship and its nature in terms of how it is telepathically connected to those piloting the ships. It is a kind of a signature vibration that contains a lot of information that others can download, so to speak, to understand the identity of the ship, the function of the ship, the function of the crew, the mission they are on. The writing can even change from time to time.
This person is curious about the energy and frequency where we will have first contact. This person says, I feel like I'm personally ready for that contact with ETs. Can you speak a little more on how we can embody, accelerate, and integrate for first contact?
Follow the formula as precisely as you can, as often as you can, to accelerate your vibration and make you more vibrationally compatible with the idea of contact.
And what are some suggestions for practicing how to change or alter our frequency to match those of entities like yourself? Will it be necessary in order to communicate during first contact?
Follow the formula.
Okay. This person is asking, is it possible for, or probable for some of us to witness humanity becoming an honorary part of the Galactic Alliance? At 21 years old, I'm hopeful that the advancement in technology and healthcare might make it a reality within my lifetime.
Yes, as long as an individual doesn't choose to leave the planet during the time of open contact, those, especially of a younger age, are highly likely to experience the idea of open contact and a relatively large chunk of the full spectrum of contact over time.
Okay. For me, this first contact is not really a science event or a fruition of a science fiction dream. It is a cultural event, sociologic, like in the film Close Encounter of the Third Kind. Can you speak to this?
It is a sociological event, first and foremost, because it will alter your entire society. And you must alter your entire society on your own in order to make yourselves more compatible with the idea of contact. So the idea is it is less scientific, although there will be some technological elements to it, some technological exchange, knowledge exchange, so on and so forth, knowledge given, technological ideas given and shared. But it is first and foremost a sociological event, yes. Your entire society, those that are willing and open, those that are shifting in the direction of open contact, will be very different from your society of today. So the idea is that, yes, primarily it is sociological.
Okay, and the idea of humans organizing for contact. In what shapes or form would you suggest or inspire humans to organize themselves so they can globally have a more joyful and exciting open contact experience?
Some of that type of information will be being delivered in upcoming transmissions that have to do with what we are preparing you for now. As we said, this is Countdown to Contact Year 1, and we will begin to make certain suggestions for actions and behavioral changes in members of your society that have to do with what we are terming the Interstellar Alliance Sociological Experiment. And it will be delivered to you in a variety of steps over time in the upcoming year. So some of those suggestions will be forthcoming in the upcoming transmissions.
You've recommended putting up a picture of an alien in our windows. I've had little children, and in speaking to them about contact, I'm not sure they're ready to see an alien in the window. Do you have other suggestions for the little ones?
Depending upon their age, your children are already exposed to many representations of ETs and other kinds of beings in their programming on television and in movies. You can simply be creative and imaginative and choose representations that you deem to be, shall we say, cuter than average, so that children can relate to them, and use those instead.
Okay, and when contact is made, what reactions do you anticipate from us?
Again, there will be a range of responses and reactions, depending upon belief systems, willingness to be open or not to the idea that you are not alone. Willingness to be open to the idea of the kind of changes that would have to occur within you as individuals and within all of you as a society. So again, there will be a range of reactions and responses, and this is what we anticipate will occur at first.
And what qualities make us the best candidates for open contact?
Love, peace, creativity, imagination, and a willingness to be your true selves. A willingness to raise your vibration, a willingness to expand your consciousness, a willingness to connect to all that is in a variety of ways.
And could you tell me more about the sanctuaries you speak of? You mentioned people will be led to them by synchronicity. Could someone like myself prepare a space or the sanctuaries and set them aside? Can I be put on the list?
Again, people will be creating these sanctuaries through synchronistic opportunities, whether you yourself are involved in the creation of one or simply allowing synchronicity to lead you eventually to those that have been created by humans on your planet. It doesn't really matter. It is up to you to follow your passion as to whether or not you are actually finding a space and creating a sanctuary or being open to being attracted to a sanctuary once they.
Is there only one non-physical source we call spirit or God? Or is there really many parts that make this an idea of one whole? I'd like to know if there is a God and what I have been chasing my whole life on earth.
You are separating the idea into this or that instead of this and that. There is one and there is all, and the one and the all are the same thing in different forms. There is one that becomes the all, that is the all, that experiences itself as the all, and there are the many things that together make up the one, but are each individually their own version, their own perspective of the one. Everything is made of God. There is nothing else to make anything from, and therefore God is everything. When people on your planet talk about the idea and the notion of God being omnipresent, you have to understand that it's not possible to be everywhere unless you're actually literally everything. Therefore, it is everything. It is every atom, every subatomic particle, every object, every molecule, everything. The space even in between the things that you think of as empty space, that is even made of God. There is nowhere where God, all that is, isn't. It is everything, it is everyone, it is everywhere, it is every when. All the things make it up, and it makes up all the things.
After one becomes enlightened, is there any steps along one's path of spiritual development, or is this awakening the last step?
Enlightenment never ends. There are always different levels to awareness and enlightenment and experiences of all that is. Even if someone imagines that they reach the so-called quote-unquote highest level of becoming one with all that is, becoming one with Source, there are still many versions of what it means to experience becoming one with Source. So even becoming one with Source is not the ending of enlightenment or awareness. It is infinite, goes on forever, never ends, there's always something else.
Okay, and can you please give examples of the idea of the illusion of power versus the power of the illusion? I would like to understand this concept better.
Many people on your planet fall under the illusion of power in the sense of thinking that their physical minds need to control things. They think of themselves as powerful when they find themselves able to manipulate certain events into a certain order that allows them to feel satisfied with what it is they insist on seeking. But the idea is to understand that physical reality is a projection of consciousness. In that context, an illusion doesn't mean it's not valid. It doesn't mean the experience is not real. But understanding that you are already creating your reality based on your belief systems, based on what you define as true for you, is being able to utilize the power of the illusion to your benefit by going with the flow, by not being in resistance, by not attempting to force things into shape, but by understanding how to allow them to automatically fall into place using your own natural current, your own natural control built into you, rather than attempting to artificially control things through the physical mind, which it's not designed to do. It is only designed to give you an experience of physical reality, not to control it. The idea is that the control is already built in to the choices that you made to experience, the challenges that you chose to experience in this lifetime to grow as a soul. So allowing the idea of the agreements you made to simply unfold in perfect timing and to respond to them in a positive way, acting on your passion, following the formula, going with the flow, not resisting the natural current that you are, is the way to use the power of the illusion that's already built into it, instead of falling under the illusion that you are powerful by exercising your physical mind to control everything, which is exactly the opposite of being in control.
And if we all have unique experiences of life on Earth, do we all see the same objects and colors in the same non-biased way? Do you, Bashar, see our Earth and objects' colors the same way we do? Or do you see everything as energy or some other state?
You may have a strong sense of agreement so that what you perceive in your reality is very, very similar to what someone else may be perceiving in their reality, and therefore have a common ground, in a sense. But the idea is that you do not perceive exactly, precisely the same thing as everyone else. You all have a unique perspective. We see things also very differently than you do. We see multidimensionally far more than you do at this point in your evolution. And therefore we see energy patterns. We can recognize those energy patterns as a type of language that allows us to understand how to perceive you and other beings in a very different way, on many different levels, simultaneously, even into the idea of perceiving parallel reality aspects of your being that you are connecting to, other civilizational vibrations that you are connecting to, other dimensional expressions of your greater being and your oversoul. So yes, we see you as much bigger than you see yourselves in a variety of ways and extending into a variety of dimensional realities.
And when we use our imagination to interact with our hybrid children, what type of connection is actually happening? When this person is saying, when they play out the scenarios in their head, do they know that the hybrid children know they're doing this and come around? Can you explain this process a little more, because it's not tangible in their reality?
The hybrid children are extremely telepathic, will often pick up on when you are thinking of them, will allow their imagination to vibrationally match the imaginary scenarios that you are picturing in your head. For those that are vibrationally compatible with the realities that benefit them, they will experience what you are imagining. For those that are not necessarily relevant to them, they will not necessarily experience those portions of your imagination. They may send back a representation of what it is that would be more likely represented by them. They can reverse the telepathy in that sense and allow you, especially in dream time, to have a more representative imagination scenario that is more in alignment with their vibration. So that can work in both directions.
And you stated in a session that new children on Earth are coming through upgraded in a way that they will be able to remember the connection much faster.
Yes.
Please tell me the age range of these particular upgraded children.
Generally speaking, most of them are in their 20s at this point, although new ones are being born all the time, and therefore there's a large age range below 20 years of age. It doesn't mean that anyone over 20 isn't also hybridized in the new way, part of a new species. But the overall average age is somewhere in the 20s of those that have been hybridized to the point where they are a relatively new species. That doesn't mean that they're all in alignment. It simply means they all have different capacities than you used to have as a species. It still depends on what they choose to do with it. It still depends upon the themes that they chose to explore as to what they are capable of recognizing within themselves, but they do have a slight advantage of being capable of remembering more of who they are as a spirit connected to Source. How they interpret it will be based on the themes they chose to explore.
And could you clarify how it is that the Sasani are one of the products of the hybridization agenda, but their physical future selves seem to also be participating in it, such as yourself? I am curious if the version of the hybridization agenda that you perceive as the origin of your society is the same as the one that you're participating in. For example, you perceive your physical self as being physically involved in the creation of your own society. Are there versions of it that were created without the involvement of physical future selves? In a similar fashion, does Willa perceive that Darryl has channeled her in the past of her timeline, which will mean the information of the 5 levels of mastery was being used on Earth before they even invented it?
You are confused by the science fiction convention of future and past and time travel. The idea is to understand us not so much literally as future selves, but as parallel reality interpretations, parallel reality counterparts that all exist simultaneously with your reality. So yes, we are involved, but literally speaking, we are not coming from what you would consider to be your future in a linear sense. We coexist with you right now. So the idea is to drop the notion that we're in your future, because that's not how it works. The idea of the utilization of the term future selves is simply an application to represent that we are very much more advanced than you, which you usually chalk up to the idea of a future evolutionary being. But we exist right now. So the idea is we coexist with you and are participating with you. We are not coming from the literal future in the science fiction sense.
And also, the idea that the third entity is created when Darryl channels you or channels Bashar. And does that being have its own individuated soul?
Of a type, yes. We will not go into detail on this at this time because it can get a little complex. But of a type, yes.
Okay, and could you clarify the differences between the grays that you're referring to and the zeta reticuli?
As we have mentioned from time to time, there are many factions of grays. And the reason for this primarily is that when we talked about the idea of grays coming from a parallel version of Earth and other parallel realities, you must understand that there are a multitude of grays from different parallel realities that come through to different versions of Earth. So you have a mix of grays, in a sense, that come from different origin points, all interacting to some degree in what you consider to be your reality. So the grays that are connected to zeta reticuli are not exactly the same grays that are involved primarily in our creation, in the idea of the hybridization agenda. So it gets a little bit confusing because some can cross over from one agenda to another from time to time. But there are many factions of grays that come from many different parallel realities, all coexisting simultaneously in what you consider to be your timeline.
Okay, and is it accurate to say that extrasolar intelligent beings cannot develop the technology to reach Earth unless they have transcended aggressive world domination agendas and other fear-based and greed-based motivations? Does this imply that regardless of the circumstances on Earth, when they arrive, these beings will be altruistic ETs?
For the most part, yes. And again, remember that those that are engaged with you will set up a vibration that would make it less likely that anything that is vibrationally incompatible with your best interests would simply not find you. You would be invisible to them because of the vibrational state of those engaged with you that are operating on a much higher frequency.
Okay, and could you please explain the game hexes written about in the book Shards of the Shattered Mirror by Darryl?
Yes. There is a playing field made of different hexes. You might call them electronically activated. And the idea is that the players standing on hexes have to, in some way, psychically or telepathically or synchronistically determine the pattern of the changes in the colors of the hexes that change from phase to phase, from moment to moment, so that when you move from one hex to another, you instinctively land on a color that moves you forward and benefits you, as opposed to eliminating you from the game. So, for example, if you move from one hex to another while all the hexes are shifting and changing in color, when the hexes stop changing, stop shifting, and solidify into a particular color that was different than what they were before, or similar to what they were before, whatever color it is that you have now stood on, whatever color happens to be in the hex you have decided to go to, determines your status in the game. So if you perhaps, for example, move to a hex that winds up solidifying into a gold hex, you may have won the game. If you stand on a hex that happens to solidify into a black hex, you may be eliminated from the game. Other colors may represent different status points in the game.
Very interesting.
Yes.
Are those who are attracted to your teachings a participant in the hybridization agenda?
They don't all have to be, but about 90% or above usually are.
Okay. And it seems as more of our consciousness expands, more is revealed. Does this mean that as a collective consciousness, if we match your frequency, we will be able to see you in physical form, or will we continue seeing only via our third eye?
You will ultimately see us in physical form if your vibrational rate comes closer to matching our frequency. In some sense, that is really what contact is all about. Because as we have said, those operating on a higher frequency have the qualities of spirit. And when exposed to those frequencies, your physical body may react to them as if you are dying. And that is where the fear comes from. But the idea is that as you raise your frequency and create less differentiation between physical and non-physical reality, you become more vibrationally compatible with our natural state and can allow your senses to begin to perceive us more solidly, more corporeally, more physically.
And this person asks, saying that they 2 days ago meditated and asked to travel with a UFO, and then read in the media the day after that a UFO was observed in the same area of Norway.
Yes.
Is there any link?
Yes. That was the UFO that that person visited. Whether they remember fully or not is not the point. But they were given an opportunity to understand through the media story that what they had asked for had actually occurred. In time, they may remember. The memories may unfold.
You're talking to your own higher mind right now. It's just that we are happy to function as a mask, as a filter, in a sense, as a flavor for you to let it be all right to talk to your own higher mind through us. But you're actually speaking with your own higher mind right now.
Yes, I actually had that experience last night. I realized I was talking to my higher self.
Yes, yeah. Well, there you go.
Okay.
Well, you still are.
Okay, the problem that I'm here to ask you about...
You mean a challenge?
Oh, yeah, a big challenge is...
All right, big challenge, but a big challenge doesn't mean it has to be defined as a problem. That's what we're saying.
Well, it's a struggle.
That's all right, it doesn't have to be.
I wish I could choose it not to be, but...
You can choose it not to be.
It's easier said than done.
That's a belief.
Okay, can I just ask my question?
Yes, you can.
I'm just curious if you could remember back to when your people, your species went through this change that we're going through, how you lived your life at the same time. I'm finding a lot of pain involved in letting go of old concepts.
The only reason you would have pain in letting go of old concepts is you don't believe that you need to let them go. You believe they're serving you still. Remember, you hold on to nothing that you don't actually believe is somehow serving you. No matter how painful they may be to hold on to, what you're actually saying is the alternative is worse.
How do I get to the bottom of how it's serving me?
Very good question. And here's how you can do it, at least one way. The idea is to understand what we have called the motivational mechanism. Again, please understand, this is automatic for everyone. There is absolutely nothing you really need to do to make this work. It's already working. You just have to allow yourself to understand how it works so that you can use it in a way that you prefer to, instead of using the mechanism in a way that you don't prefer. You follow me so far?
Yes.
All right. The motivational mechanism is simply this. And I mean there are no exceptions to this. Not even you. You follow me?
Yes.
All right. You will always, immediately, automatically move in the direction of what you believe to be in your best interests. You will always immediately and automatically move away from what you believe is not in your best interest. Knowing that, that should tell you something. If you are holding on to something that you know intellectually is not in your best interests, and you understand the motivational mechanism I just described, the only way that that could stick around is if you have defined it in the motivational mechanism as actually being in your best interest more than the alternative. Or vice versa, you have defined the thing that you say you prefer as actually somehow being more scary, more fearful than the thing you don't prefer. And so you're so afraid of the thing you do prefer for some reason, based on some belief you're holding on to, that you're willing to put up with the pain and struggle of the thing you don't prefer just because it's more familiar. Just because it feels safer, because you're so much more scared of the thing you don't know about.
And
Does this make some sense?
Oh yeah, I've heard this many times from you, but how
But
do
it's
I,
not sinking in.
I can't figure it out. How do I move forward? I want to move forward so bad.
Well, you have to find out what it is you're holding on to. How you've heard us give the example of the idea of how people on your planet are raised with different definitions of money.
Yes.
Can you apply that idea to yourself at all about the contradictory beliefs that you are raised with that create conflict within you until such time as you actually consciously identify those beliefs? Because only by consciously identifying them can you let them go. If you don't know what they are, you have nothing to work with.
I know what my beliefs are. I guess I feel like I'm swimming upstream. Like
I don't care what you feel like.
Like my ego's
I understand what you feel like. But again, remember, the feeling only comes because you believe something to be true. You can't have a feeling without believing something to be true first. So if you have a feeling you're swimming upstream, you have got to be defining something in your life in that way. You yourself said it a moment ago. Easier said than done. These are just belief systems. They're not empirical truths. There is absolutely nothing about the phrase easier said than done that is an absolute law of creation. It's you that is giving it solidity by believing in that idea. You're the one giving it form. You're the one giving it shape for some reason. Find out what the reason is why you are buying into those kinds of limiting ideas that produce struggle, strife, pain. Remember, pain is resistance to the natural self. So what is it about being your true natural self? What is it about the thing you prefer to be that is so much scarier than what you're already holding on to that you don't prefer? What would be the worst, most terrifying thing you can imagine would happen if you actually let go of all of these fears and negative definitions and actually allowed yourself to be who you preferred to be? What would be the scariest thing that you imagine might happen if you did that?
Yeah, I wouldn't know who I am anymore.
Now, all right, very good.
Yeah.
Now, why would you assume that to be true?
Because I define myself from my experiences and all the people around me. And if I move on to a whole different belief system,
yes,
I'll kind of be out there by myself.
Well, may I ask you a question?
Yes, please.
Haven't you ever moved from one belief system to another ever in your life?
Yes.
Well, was that a problem for you?
Well, it was, but when I got there, I was okay.
So what makes you think it's not going to be okay again? How many examples of doing that do you need before you get the point that it's always okay?
Okay.
How many times do you have to give yourself that symbol, that reflection, before you know it will actually always be okay? How many times? It's up to you. I'm not pushing you. How many times have you already done it?
Innumerable, and it's been very painful. So maybe I'm getting from you, if I just kind of let go with it, the pain will kind of go away too.
It will not kind of go away.
It will.
It won't exist in the reality of the person that you actually prefer to be, because by definition, that person doesn't experience pain and struggle and resistance. You see, you have to watch your definitions. You have a definition that says, if I become who I prefer to be, there's something about that that's going to be painful. But if you actually listen to what you just said, you would realize that that's nonsensical. How could becoming who you prefer to be contain a definition of being something that is not what you prefer?
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
Your definitions are muddled. That's where you're having the difficulty. You're not listening to the definitions you're actually using to define who it is you prefer. You're creating your own contradictory definitions about who that person is. If that really is the you prefer to be, it cannot, by definition, contain the elements of negativity that you're describing. Otherwise, it can't be that you. It wouldn't be that you. It would make no sense. So what you're defining is someone that isn't who you prefer to be. But when you define clearly who it is you do prefer to be, and you allow yourself to be that person, it will not contain anything that is irrelevant for that particular person. Your life is negative.
And I don't want to live in that other world emotionally
Then
anymore.
don't.
Okay, how?
Again, when you say real life,
Which means going to work and all that.
so
business,
what?
yeah.
Does that just mean that you're not doing what you love to do?
No, I like it, but it's so different. It has a different feel to it, you know?
Then you're not doing what you love to do.
I mean, I'm really happy that I go to work. I'm like, I like my job, but I just feel
Do
so
you
unhappy.
do what you love to do or not? Yes
I know you've
or
had this
no?
conversation a lot. Okay, I used to really love it then. Okay.
Is there something else you would rather be doing?
I'd like to be retired, yeah, and pursue this kind of life all the time where I'm just happy.
Well, why not do that?
That's the hard part, I guess. Okay.
Why are you saying that's hard? You're the one making it harder.
Yeah, you're right.
There is nothing empirically true that what it is you prefer to do has to be hard in the way that you mean it. Yes, of course, there will always be some challenge. Yes, of course, you might have to actually take some actions and do things. But if it's truly a labor of love, it won't feel like a labor. It will be a joy.
Okay.
Are you picking up on this?
Very much so. And I just got, do you understand
When
how...
you say very much so, unless you actually exhibit the behavior that goes along with it, it's not very much so. Remember, action and knowing are synonymous. So if you're not actually acting like it, you don't know it yet. Do you have a small object, coin, pen, anything at all that you can put in your hand, piece of jewelry?
Yes, I have one now.
Put it on the floor. Did you do it?
Yes.
Pick it up. Did you do it?
Yes.
Action and knowing are synonymous. What you know you can do, you just do. You don't think about it. You didn't go, I believe I can pick it up. I think I can pick it up. I'm not sure. Might be hard to bend over and pick that up. Not necessarily as easy as it sounds, perhaps. Oh, let me think about all the different things that could happen between here and picking it up. You didn't do any of that. You just picked it up because you innately knew in every fiber of your being that you could. Action and knowing are synonymous. So when you say, oh yes, I get it, but you're not doing it, you don't get it. You don't know it yet. So when you act like you know it, you will know it. And when you know it, you will act like you know it. Is this making some sense?
Perfect. I totally understand it. Can I just
Do
say
you?
one more thing? I do, but moving away from all the people I work with, my family, all my friends.
So what?
And was that easy for you to do when you had to do it?
I never had to do it.
But your kind went through this progression, right?
Not as much as your society, no.
Ah, okay.
But we understand the concept and have incarnations in realities, such as yours, that do go through those things, which is what gives us the understanding of those concepts. Otherwise, it would be too alien to us. Nevertheless, the idea is that when we allow ourselves to know that everything is neutral and doesn't have built-in meaning, and we supply the meaning that we prefer, we always get the effect that we prefer regardless of what's going on around us. So when we know that the things and opportunities that are presented to us in our lives are always there, always, without exception there, for us to put a positive meaning into them and get a positive effect out of, because that's our choice, then we know that that's all we will experience. And therefore, what hesitation would we ever have to move forward when we know that everything we will ever do, no matter how challenging, will always only be experienced in a positive and joyful way, because that's our choice.
And even this day, I mean, I knew I wasn't going to come here, and I woke up and I said, I have to go see Bashar because I'm going to get called. I'm going to get this opportunity. And
well,
I did.
There you go.
And I was like, I wasn't even surprised, but no one who I know would understand that way of thinking. And I
do
see
you
them
understand this way of thinking?
Do I know it?
Now you can't say that anymore.
I see everyone suffering around me, and I can't help them.
So what?
Just let them.
You understand this very importantly. By staying in your fear, you're not helping them. By moving into your joy is the only way you can help them, because you're giving them an example to let them know they could choose to live in their joy too. But if you don't live in your joy, you never give them the chance to see that it can be done.
Thank you. That really helps me.
Hi, Bashar.
And you, good day.
I honestly have no idea why I'm up here.
Obviously.
I didn't put my name down. I really didn't.
Well, obviously you did on some level.
Okay. So...
Unless you are taking someone else's place.
No, unless there's another Lauren Bristow here. No? Okay.
Do you have a question or something you would like to discuss?
So this is the first time that I've actually seen you and really paid attention to you. Okay.
What a synchronicity. This is the first time we paid attention to you. What are the odds
Well,
of paying attention to each other for the very first time at the same time? Amazing.
It was kind of crazy. Everything that you said, it was kind of, you were in my head. And
yes.
I was talking to my boyfriend about stuff last night, about things with me, and you just covered everything.
Yes, synchronicity.
Yes, we're in sync, apparently.
Yes. And therefore, this is a reflection of the fact of what we have said. When you speak with us, what you're actually speaking to is your own higher mind, using us as, well, an excuse to let it be all right to do so.
Okay.
So, we are here to simply reinforce the idea that everything you heard was coming from you. And that all of you have the ability to take all this information and access all this information for yourselves. We are happy to be a reflective symbol, but we don't have to be. You all have connection to source and all have the ability to understand all these things, and all this information is free for you to tap into. It's up to you. So you have created with us a synchronistic dance reflection of what you already know. We thank you.
I thank you.
Anything else?
I don't think so.
Oh, all right. Thank you.
Thank you.
What's up, Bashar?
I am.
Good to see you, buddy. My name's Brian, but you can call me Truly.
All right, truly.
Okay, so everything's all happening at once.
Yes,
yeah?
it is.
So then it seems to me that this issue of how we dance down the hallway
Yes.
has a lot to do with which frames that we are perceiving.
Yes.
Okay. And one of the previous questions, you were talking about how, there's all these random events, and certain ones of them will drop in according to what our vibration is.
Making them then, at that point, not random at all, but synchronous.
Right. So I think this also has something to do with the manner of the dance down the hall.
No, all right.
If you've chosen to go down there in an unhappy mood, then the random events are going to generate. Things are going to slot in that accentuate that.
Yes, you will get reflections of what you typically refer to as negative synchronicity.
Okay, so how do you turn that around, please?
By dancing a happy dance. No, not an evil dance.
Oh, that was not the evil laugh, Bashar.
I know.
I do have an evil laugh.
I'm playing with you.
All right, fine. Okay, so then...
By always knowing that everything that happens in your life can be there for a positive reason. And if you thus then only label the things that happen as being there for a positive reason, then no matter what anyone else's intention in the scenario may be toward you, you will only experience a positive effect from every single situation and scenario that unfolds in your life. Because nothing has built-in meaning. Life, the great gift, is that life is fundamentally meaningless. You are designed to give it meaning, and the meaning you give it determines the effect you get from it. So when you decide that everything has a positive meaning, that's the only way you will experience it, regardless of what anyone else's involvement or perception may be.
So this is how we choose the frames that feel good.
With your vibration. It's the third law of creation, as we call it. What you put out is what you get back. Plain and simple. This is just physics. Physical reality is a mirror. If you're looking in a mirror and you see the reflection frowning, you don't yell at the reflection to smile. You don't go over to the mirror and try to force the reflection to smile. That won't work. But if you smile, the mirror has no choice but to smile back. Now, granted, because you're creating a physical space-time reality, sometimes you may create a little bit of a lag time between the time you smile and the time you see the reflection smiling. And the reason that this happens sometimes is that you're actually, in a sense, let's say, testing yourself. Have I really changed? Am I really smiling? Because many times people on your planet think they will smile if the outside reality smiles first. But you know a mirror can't smile first. So when you smile, no matter what's going on the outside, if you know that it's positive for you, no matter how it looks, then you will have proven, in a sense, to the mirror that the true test of change is not that the outer reality changes to reflect the change. It's that you respond differently to the outer reality, even if it still looks the same. That's the true test of change. And when you pass that test, then the outer reality will have no choice but to create the appropriate reflection. But you must change for your own sake, not because of the change you think you need to make in the outer reality. Make sense? Otherwise, you're putting conditions on your joy. Yes, I'll be happy when. I'll be happy if. Because then all you're saying is, I'm not happy. So why should the mirror smile? Make sense?
Crystal clear, actually.
Why, thank you. Will that suffice?
Well, I do have one more thing.
Oh, all right.
All right. So just thinking about this whole thing of frame selection and, manifestation, the whole, I got an intuitive sense that, at least for me, that there was something kind of mischievously sneaky about what I needed to be doing.
Yes.
So could you speak about that at all?
We are always mischievously sneaky. The idea is that sometimes you will need to trick yourself or attract the idea, as it is often called archetypally, of the trickster into your life in some form to allow you to sort of get your mind out of your way. In many ways, this is what we're doing with some of the information we deliver. And it is one of the fundamental properties of the idea of excitement. Sometimes it will actually, shall we say, euphemistically, dangle a carrot in front of your face and make you think that that's the thing that needs to manifest, because it knows that if you think that's what's going to manifest, you'll get off your butt and move. But that may not be the thing that needs to manifest. Sometimes the carrot is just there to trick you into moving because that's what you needed to do. Does that help?
Big, huge gauze of unconditional love to you, brother.
I love you truly. Nania? Yes. 3 only. All right. Just making sure you're hearing us clearly.
Good day to you, Bashar.
And good day to you.
Bashar.
Yes?
I would like to discuss the theme of why I keep on choosing what I say I don't prefer.
All right. Well, we have begun that discussion, but we'll go deeper into it if you wish. The idea basically is to understand that this comes down to what we call the mechanism of motivation. Again, you all have the same mechanism of motivation. Now, are you paying attention?
Yes, sir.
Oh, sir. All right. Very formal. Always, without fail, without exception, automatically and immediately, no exceptions, you will always choose what you define, what you believe to be in your best interest. You will always move away from what you define, what you believe to be not in your best interests. So that should give you the clue that if you look at the motivational mechanism and recognize from a higher level that something is truly representative of your highest excitement, what it's really, really, really all about for you, what you really prefer, and yet you're not choosing it, the only reason that can exist is you've attached a definition or a belief to that thing that makes it appear to not be the preferable choice over the other choice. For example, someone might say, well, yes, I recognize that this is what I prefer, but if you've been taught to believe that choosing that is somehow going to bring something into your life that is so onerous, so unpleasant, then you've associated what you prefer with that unpleasantness. And you will do everything in your power to avoid making that choice as long as you link the negative belief to that preferred thing to make the preferred thing seem unpleasant. More unpleasant than just doing what you're already doing. In other words, what you do is arrange your beliefs, and what you're doing then is choosing what you call in your language the lesser of two evils. Even though what you're doing may be painful, you will always choose what you deem to be less painful than the other choice. So if you're not choosing what you prefer, that tells you right up front you have a belief attached to it that makes it seem more painful than the pain you're already enduring. So find out what you would have to believe is true in order to make that thing seem not preferable, even though you might know from a higher perspective that it is. And when you investigate that, and if you're willing to hear the answer in some form will come. And when you identify what that belief is, you will see that it's nonsensical and illogical because it doesn't belong to you, and thus then you can let it go. But you have to identify it first because you cannot work with what you don't know about. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does that help you?
Yes. And
yes?
I would like to take it a little further.
Go right ahead.
I was able to identify 3 reasons why
Yes.
I kept on choosing what I chose. That
Yes.
I didn't want to.
Are you willing to be more specific, or would you rather keep this general?
No, I'm willing to be more specific.
All right, so what is the thing you would prefer to choose that you're not choosing, and what are the things you have discovered that keep you from choosing it?
All right. The specific issue I have is my weight, which recently passed over 400 pounds.
Oh, all right. So
And-
what are you waiting to do?
Exactly. I've been through a lot of introspection and through
Yes.
a lot of finding out what my beliefs were.
Yes.
I was able to identify, number one, that I was getting ready for apocalypse, and I was getting ready to stocking up, to being strong.
All right.
And I let go of that because
All
I
right.
found it nonsensical
All
and
right.
because I chose not to be in that parallel reality.
Thank you. And what else did you discover?
The second is that I identified that since I've been by myself most of my life,
Yes.
that I needed to be big and strong to intimidate people as a way of protection.
Oh, all right.
The third,
Although, if I may interrupt you for one moment.
Absolutely.
And this, of course, is a joke. I am only 5 feet tall and very thin, yet it seems that I intimidate a lot of you people.
all right. Now, the third one is the one where I actually need a little help from you.
Oh,
because
all right.
I think
What's the third one?
when I was a child,
Yes.
about 4 or 5 years old,
Yes.
I had beings coming to the edge of my bed.
Yes.
And they were very scary to me.
Yes.
And right after I saw them,
Yes.
I would start going up towards what I thought. Well, I don't know if it was my physical self or my astral self, but I would go all the way to the ceiling.
All right, one moment. You have turned yourself into a lead balloon, so you will not be capable of being floated away.
That is absolutely right. Yes. Yes. Yes.
There is nothing to fear in that experience.
Yes.
Nothing at all. There really isn't. I promise.
Why was I being visited by these beings?
For a variety of reasons. A lot of it has to do with what has been on your planet called the hybridization agenda. You understand this term? Alien
Yes.
abduction, you understand this term?
Was I part of that?
Yes.
Was my DNA taken?
Yes.
Do I have hybrid children?
Yes.
All right.
Please let go of the fear. It is the fear energy blocking the flow of energy through you and allowing that energy to turn into mass. Let go of the fear and the energy will flow. And then when you feel yourself becoming lighter, no need to fear that just because you're becoming lighter that you can be snatched. Because remember, even though your physical mind may not remember, you made an agreement on a soul level to participate in this agenda, for which we are infinitely grateful, because it has given us life. So we thank you for your participation. There is nothing to fear, because not in any way, shape, or form, meaning this to be an egotistical statement, we are the end result. And you have fun with us, do you not?
Yes, we do.
All right. Then lighten up on yourself so that you can rise above the fear.
Will do.
Thank you.
Will I ever see them physically?
It is probable, but we do not know the degree of the probability at this particular moment. You need to become a little bit more the person with whom they have actually made the agreement to appear. So that parallel reality choice hasn't quite been set yet, quite crystallized yet, but in this conversation, you are heading in the correct direction.
Back to my country.
Which is?
Venezuela.
All right. Is that exciting?
Like nothing I've ever done.
Why is it exciting for you? And what will you do? Are you a painter?
No.
Are you sure?
I like to sing, but not paint.
Singing, all
Yes.
right. A painter of words.
Okay.
Songs, yes?
Yes.
All right, one moment, one moment, one moment. You are strongly cross-connected to many different kinds of artistic incarnations. Artistic expression in some form will be very, very, very good for you. Very, very enlightening to your spirit. Yes?
Yes.
Please give voice to your passion and give passion to your voice. All right?
Will do.
Thank you.
Thank you for being such a wonderful mirror.
Three more. Lauren Levin, Sandy Rogers, and Craig Rossi. And would you like me to choose one more since one person? No.
No.
You sure about
Thank
that?
you very much. Absolutely positive. I think you can tell by our demeanor.
I think I can too.
Thank you for being here.
And to you, good day.
Wow.
The upside down mom.
The upside down mom?
Wow.
That's good. That's good. This last question from the young man that was just here
Yes.
triggered a lot for me.
Congratulations.
Because I feel like an experience I had very young has made a huge difference in my life.
Yes.
And not in a positive way for me.
All right. Such as?
Feeling less than.
Yes.
And afraid to
Oh,
really
all right.
step out, even though there are times when I do.
Yes.
Such
as now?
I find that I retreat easily.
Oh, all right. Where do you go when you retreat?
Into my own private world.
Your own private world. What exists in that private world, may I ask?
A lot of fear.
You retreat into fear?
It seems to be more comfortable than stepping out.
What do you think will happen if you step out?
I'm not sure. I think that's why I don't step out. I'm not
But you
sure.
say you retreat into fear. So you're not afraid to retreat into fear,
It's
yet
more
you are
it's
afraid to step out where you're not sure what's going to happen.
The fear has been comfortable. It's
has
what-
become
it's become comfortable.
An old coat,
Yeah.
an old blanket.
Yes.
Oh, all right. One moment. Follow along with me, if you will, in your imagination. Go into that space where the fear is a blanket and see it that way. Yes?
Yes.
All right. Are you wrapped up in that blanket?
Yes.
What color is it?
Green.
Green. Why is it green?
That's just the color that came to mind.
All right. And you know why?
No.
Because it's the color of the heart chakra. You're afraid to feel.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yet, ironically and paradoxically, you feel a lot of fear. Yes?
Yes.
All right. So you're not really afraid to feel because you're willing to feel fear. The question is, why aren't you willing to feel love for yourself?
That's the question.
Yes, it is. That's why we asked it.
And if I knew that answer, I wouldn't be sitting here.
But you do know the answer. Obviously, you have been taught to believe, as you say, that you don't deserve that love, yes?
Yes.
All right. Well, do you understand that if that was true, you wouldn't exist?
No.
Shall I explain that?
Yes, please.
Do you exist? Of course you do. Say yes.
Yes.
All right. So, that means that creation created you. You're part of creation, yes?
Yes.
Do you believe creation makes mistakes?
Yes.
How is that possible? Can you explain how it would be possible that creation could create something that didn't belong in creation? Little bit of a conundrum there, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. It is not possible for creation to create something that doesn't belong in creation. If you exist, creation must know you need to exist, or creation wouldn't be complete. Without you, nothing would exist. Therefore, creation obviously believes you are worthy of existence, or it wouldn't have created you. So when you disbelieve in your own worth, you are arguing with creation. And yet the paradox is, your very ability to argue with creation proves that you're worthy of existence. Is this messing with your mind a little bit?
Just a little.
Good. That's what you need. You need a little co-fusion.
Co-fusion?
Yes, not confusion, co-fusion. In your mind. You need to start looking at this from different perspectives, which is what we are helping you do right now, so that you can sort of rattle free from these old ways of looking at yourself and start looking at yourself from a new perspective, through the eyes of creation. There are no such things as mistakes in creation. Everything that exists for a reason, and without it, creation wouldn't be whole. Therefore, you are worthy of creation because you exist. Therefore, stop arguing with creation about your worth. At least begin there. Yes?
Good place to start.
It is a very good place to start because you are in good hands with all that is.
Thank you.
Are you feeling a little bit more of the warm, vibraty love coursing through your heart?
Would that be the sweat dripping down my brow right now?
It's a start. Yes.
Yes.
Do understand that perspiration and tears sometimes are the body's way of detoxifying from toxic beliefs. Tears of joy, tears of relief happen because the idea is that since you are having a physical reality, any belief you take into yourself, the negative ones, will have to have a corresponding chemical signature in your body. But when you finally let go of the belief and you cry because you're suddenly in touch with the fact that you've been holding on to that for so long and now you're willing to let it go, and you cry these tears, these emotional upwellings of relief, it's because you are literally washing those chemical constituents out of your body through your tears.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Does this help you?
Immensely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our unconditional love to you.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
Thank you for keeping our appointment.
Absolutely. I had no choice, really.
My name is Lauren.
Because it is the thing I choose. Therefore, since I have chosen it, I have no choice but to choose it.
Thank you. My name is Lauren.
All right, if you insist.
I live in Phoenix, Arizona, but
If you
I just
insist on that too.
recently visited
Yes.
Hawaii
Yes.
2 weeks ago.
All right.
And I got to swim with the wild spinner dolphins.
How exciting.
Some pilot whales and manta rays. So
Yes.
I have a question then.
Yes.
What is the connection between the dolphins and our intergalactic friends from other planets?
They have a very strong connection to the star system of Sirius. And thus then they are in telepathic communication very often with consciousnesses from that star system and from that dimension of reality. Thus then they are very, very good at helping you connect to the Sirius energy as well through their vibration. And also they are very good practice for having contact with what you call extraterrestrial beings, because they are, in a sense, aliens in your very own backyard. Well, all right, in your very own swimming pool. And thus, then, the more you practice learning how to communicate with the dolphins and the whales, in a sense, the easier it will be to also communicate with extraterrestrial beings, because there is a lot of similarity. And they do have an actual language. And therefore, you can learn it, and you can actually communicate that way, or you can communicate through vibration, through the heart, telepathically if you wish. It's up to you. But they are very good practice, and they are willing, especially what we call the dreamers. The dreamers are the ambassadors of the cetacean nation that are willing to interact with the humans and help them understand that they are far from alone in the universe. Dolphins have been talking to extraterrestrial beings for thousands of years. They just kind of look at you like you're sort of hard of hearing. Does this make sense?
It does.
Does this
indeed.
help you?
Yes, thank you very much.
Why, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Hello, Bashar.
And a you good day.
I've learned a lot today. Thank you.
All right.
My question has to do with cryptozoology.
Yes.
One of my favorite movies was The Mothman Prophecies. I've always
Yes.
wondered, what was the Mothman creature? Was it a real thing?
It's an interdimensional being, very unusual, has to do with dimensions of the afterlife in a very, very unique way. A little bit difficult to explain in your language. We have, at another time, talked about the fact that there are beings that live in between dimensions, that that's a dimension in and of itself, and this is one such being. Very unusual fauna, very unusual consciousness, very unusual being, but attracted, like a moth, to the flame of spirit that is about to transition from physical to non-physical reality.
Is that what explained the Silver Bridge disaster?
It doesn't explain the disaster. It explains the attraction of the being to it.
Oh.
The sudden release of so much spirit from the physical world, like a moth to a flame. That's why it's perceived as a moth. It doesn't actually look like that in its own reality. But it translates archetypally, it imprints itself into your reality with that archetypal symbol, and that's how it's perceived by your senses, because it functions so similarly to that concept of a moth to a flame. And that's how your psyche interprets its existence in your world, as a moth man.
Then who was the Indrid Cold entity? He communicated with this writer named John Keel.
We understand that, but in fact that name was taken from something else.
Where?
It was taken from a different story and applied in that story representation of those events in your reality. The name is connected in a sense to a different level of reality, but it isn't directly connected to the idea of the Mothman. It is simply that the writers decided that it had the right vibration to send chills down your spine and chose it.
So the Men in Black have nothing to do with the Mothman event in West Virginia? Because I know that those two things are interrelated.
No, not directly in the way that you are meaning it, no.
Okay.
Does this help you?
Yes.
All right, then thank you.
Thank you, Bashar.